Hello, welcome back to our special edition of Finance Speaks. I'm your host, Kyle Sadler, President of Precept Wealth Management and best-selling author of I'm Retired, Now What? Our special edition video series has been designed to assist public school employees in the great state of Texas as they prepare to transition into retirement. But before we dive in, I need to make a safe harbor statement because there are a lot of teacher retirement imposters. Please note that I do not work for Teacher Retirement of Texas, nor am I affiliated or endorsed. And to make sure that we do not provide this appearance, we have changed the forms to not violate copyright laws. However, all information we discuss today regarding teacher retirement can be found on their website. Okay, legal stuff finished. Let's dive in. Because the teacher retirement pension offers two health insurance benefit plans, one plan for retirees and/or dependents who are non-Medicare eligible, and the other plan for retirees and/or dependents who are Medicare eligible. In this video, we're going to discuss only the insurance benefit for non-Medicare eligible retirees and/or dependents. After you've submitted your retirement packet for those whom are eligible for medical insurance through the pension system, you'll receive your insurance enrollment packet. You ask, Kyle, how do I know if I'm eligible to receive medical insurance through the teacher retirement pension? Great question. Because the majority of you are watching this video series will fall under Tier 1 or Tier 2. And just a reminder, in this video, we are addressing only those under the age of 65, so which you are not currently covered under Medicare. Therefore, the rules that are applicable to you are: the first rule is age 65 with 5 or more years of service credit, or age plus years of service equals 80. You've heard that one before. However, a few of you who did not start with the retirement system until after September 1st of 2007 will fall under different rules. The rules for you are age 65 with 5 or more years of service credit, or at least age 60 and meet the rule of 80, having at least 5 years of service credit. There is one more rule. However, we shouldn't run into this one, so it's not going to pertain to anybody that's retiring in the next few years, so we're going to skip over that rule. Okay, so rules complete. So now let's look at the enrollment application. Okay, first page. Well, your personal information, you're familiar with completing this information, so let's go to page 2. Who do you want to cover under this insurance? Wait. Let's take a look at the cost of coverage and coverage parameters. Too often I find that people just jump on what they think is a benefit, but it ends up being a burden. First, cost. Let's break this down. Under the pension system, just the retiree's cost will be $200 a month that will be withdrawn out of the monthly pension check. If you're married and want to add your spouse on the insurance plan, it will cost you an additional $489 for a total of $689 a month. Not married, or your spouse has better or less expensive coverage, but you want to cover your eligible children? Yes, I said eligible. So, what does the plan define as eligible? Under the rules, a child is defined as someone of age 26 or younger who is also your natural child, an adopted child, or a lawfully placed for adoption, a foster child, a stepchild, or a grandchild who lives with you and depends on your support. Okay, easiest way to figure out eligibility is, can you claim this child on your taxes? Now, one caveat that I always have to mention is, regardless of age, children who have a mental disability or physical incapacity may be eligible for support, but this would have to be determined by the pension system. Rules, rules, rules. Okay, so what will these kiddos cost you? Again, if you are not married or your spouse has coverage for both you and those eligible children, oh, and it doesn't matter how many kiddos you're covering, it will be $408 a month. And if you're covering yourself, your spouse, and children, that total will be $999 a month. So just under $800 a month more than just covering yourself. Why did I break down to include additional cost? This way you can compare if you want to cover them or not. In our other video that discusses the insurance benefits for retirees and spouses covered under Medicare, I show where we can offer a similar plan by the same company at almost an 89% reduction of the cost. Now, it is very difficult to beat the rates for individuals under the age of 65, but keep in the back of your mind that you should always compare rates, compare coverages, coverage availability, and provider ratings before making the switch. Why? Because remember, once you decide to opt out of Teacher Retirement's insurance plan, you will never be able to opt back in unless you have one of the pension plan's exceptions, which are very limited. Next, let's just take a glance at the coverages. $1,500 individual in-network deductible. $3,000 for the family in-network deductible. $5,650 maximum out-of-pocket in-network, and $11,300 for the family in-network maximum out-of-pocket. Okay, office visits have changed significantly over the past few years and may be very unique for some people. Preventative care visits are now 100% coverage, but check this out. If you go to the doctor for any other purpose, you'll be responsible for the entire cost of the visit up to the point you hit your annual deductible. In an individual case, $1,500. After that point, you'll pay only 20% of that cost. No more copay, no discounts. You pay 100% for that visit. With that cost in mind, and if you feel that you don't need to visit a doctor's office, please note that for $40, you can use the teledoc function to be diagnosed, treated, and be written a prescription 24 hours a day via telephone or video chat. I know, don't shoot the messenger, please. And I hate to say it, but outside of certain preventative generic prescriptions that are at no cost, yes, all other drugs will be subject to the $1,500 deductible until you have met your annual limit, after which point you pay 20% of that cost. Okay, but on the other side, in an article I read last year, all I can say is that some coverage is better than no coverage, and that was a consideration of the pension system. Here's a question I get all the time. What about vision and dental coverage? No, the pension system does not offer anything other than basic medical coverage. However, yes, there are some coverages that are crossover diagnosis. However, for what people are commonly asking the question for, the answer is no, it does not cover vision and dental. Now, let's look back at the enrollment application. When do you want your insurance coverage to begin? Now, my recommendation is to check with the school district as to when your current insurance will end. You'll want to make sure that you don't have overlap, but more importantly, a lapse in coverage. Next, if you're covering your spouse, please complete this next section. Please note that if your spouse is under Medicare coverage, a similar form will be sent. However, if you did not receive this form, please contact Teacher Retirement. Lastly, I just want to point out that if you're covering your eligible children and you have multiple eligible children, please create an additional page with the information this section is requesting for each eligible child. Hey, don't forget to sign this form. Boom! Insurance packet complete. I discussed how to complete the forms, but please remember, before you make your decision, I highly encourage you to not only review all the coverage to determine if this is the right plan for you, but also reach out to your primary care physician, your specialist, whomever else you need to visit, and verify that they accept the insurance. You see, this is an ever-evolving time in the healthcare industry, and when a pension system has absolutes to their coverage rules, it may be worth your time to verify. It may be worth your time to get a second opinion. And this concludes the health insurance section for retirees without Medicare coverage when retiring from public education in the great state of Texas. The next video in this series will discuss working after retirement, investment strategies, and Social Security for public school employees. If you should have questions or concerns, or if you would like a personalized retirement strategy where we discuss your teacher retirement along with your other financial objectives, please do not hesitate to contact me for an appointment. Oh, you don't live in the area, but you still wish to have an appointment with me? No problem. Technology is our friend. Let's have a video call that will knock your socks off. We thank you for watching our program and hope that you have discovered some takeaway points that will benefit you and your retirement process. For additional financial videos that may be important to you and your financial security, please like, subscribe, and share. And please, if you find these videos to be a viable resource, we ask that you please share them with your friends in public education and other professional organizations. Also, don't forget to visit us at www.preceptwm.com for additional information and guidance. For Finance Speaks, I'm Kyle Sadler, headed out until next time. Be blessed and have a wonderful day.